Depending on how many companies you reach out to, this could very well become a full-time gig for you. So if you reach out to a couple companies, and most of the time you'll put them on a monthly retainer or a monthly fee where they're paying you for to have that 24-hour support. And then they would basically, you would need to set up some sort of ticketing system or email. Whenever they have issues, they can email them to you, or either at the end of the day, they email all the issues to you. You come in after hours and fix those issues and have it ready for them by the next day. Welcome to Debt Free in IT. I'm your host, Mike. This podcast is for anyone that's looking to get into the IT field, whether it's career change or you're just interested, you come to the right place. Today, we're talking about side hustles for IT professionals. As an IT professional, we're always on the lookout for some extra ways to make some more income. This could be for paying off bills, investing, saving up for that new car. Some of these side hustles that I'm going to go over could very well become your main source of income or your primary job. So the first side hustle we're talking about is the computer repair business. So this is good for someone that's just starting out. It's a good way to make some extra income, have some extra spending money. So pretty much with this, you offer your different services, and then also to increase your profits, you can offer services that don't require you to buy parts. So if you're fixing on computers, usually some of your profit is going to be in the parts that you have to buy to fix those computers. But if you offer services like virus or spyware removal, tutoring, installations, or data recovery, then a lot of those you either buy the application one time, then you can use it multiple times. So that will make your profit margins increase. Usually, someone that's doing this type of thing usually going to charge per hour or per job. So usually, I think back when I was doing it, I would charge $40 an hour with a 2 hour guarantee, or either depending on the job, if it's something that's like replacing a laptop screen, that's one of those tedious jobs that may take up a couple of hours to get it done right. So you might just charge per job. So it's going to depend on the person, how much they're going to charge for doing these particular type of services. Another thing with this computer repair business, you also need to be comfortable dealing with people. So as you promote yourself, you're going to come across all different kinds of people. So you need to be comfortable dealing with people, being able to handle disgruntled people, people that get angry. So you're going to come across all walks of life in doing the computer repair. But like I said, it's good for someone just starting out because you can take all the things that you do for people to fix their computers and to help them out, and you can add it on your resume as real world experience. My next side hustle that I'm going to recommend is the managed service business. So this here, you pretty much target companies that don't have an IT support staff. So you target those companies and pretty much you get them to buy into you for so that you can become their IT support staff. So if you're a one man shop, depending on how many companies you reach out to, this could very well become a full-time gig for you. So if you reach out to a couple companies, and most of the time you'll put them on a monthly retainer or a monthly fee where they're paying you for to have that 24-hour support. And then they would basically, you would need to set up some sort of ticketing system or email. Whenever they have issues, they can email them to you, or either at the end of the day, they email all the issues to you. You come in after hours and fix those issues and have it ready for them by the next day. And then, like I said, this is starting out on a small scale, so you can reach out to a couple companies as just a one man band. And then, as you start to grow, your company starts to grow. You might have to recruit other talent, or start to hire people to be contracted to work for you. Then that way, it takes some of the hassle off of you because you have more people now that you can send out to do those duties for you. And then also, if you specialize in a particular area, you could approach companies that need that specialization. So something like if you specialize in networking, or if you specialize in security, or something in the cloud. So pretty much you can reach out to companies that need those implementation services and offer your support services to them for their applications. or even you may be able to go in and revamp their network to make things work better and be more efficient. And then also with this managed service provider business or managed service provider, if running your own business is too much for you, then you could also seek employment with a managed service provider. So there's a lot of companies that do managed services on a large scale. Some of them pay very well, and a lot of times they're mainly looking for engineers, security professionals, cloud engineers, and usually, like I said, on average, from my research, their pay is about 86 grand a year. That's on average. So a lot of that is going to depend on your location, your state, and pretty much just the area that you're currently in. So as an employee with one of these companies, like I said, you can average about 86 grand. And then as a owner, if you decide to go to the route and try to start your own, start off small, then started growing it, then I would say your income is unlimited. The next side hustle that I'm going to recommend is teaching. So if you have some valuable skills like networking, cybersecurity, cloud, programming. So if you have some valuable skills, then you can always give back. So you can teach for a local community college or online college or even a 4-year university. So you have a variety of resources that you can try to teach at. And a lot of times these companies, these schools, they usually, since you've been in the field, you bring that different perspective from than someone who hasn't been in the field who's teaching it. So you add a different perspective. And then also, this is something that you could possibly do on a part time basis. So you could keep your main job as a network engineer or an IT professional. And then you could reach out to schools that may be looking for adjunct instructors for the particular topic that you've been doing your whole career. So the next IT side hustle I'm going to recommend is teaching. So if you've been working in the field, you can always go and give back by teaching at a local community college or a university. A lot of times those colleges are in need of someone to teach the courses for them. So you've been in the field, so you got that real world experience. So that will usually make you a good instructor for teaching that particular topic. So and also this can be done on a part-time basis. So you can keep your full-time job and then teach as adjunct. Or with a lot of courses, you can teach totally online. So you can be an adjunct and just teach totally online in the afternoons when you get off from your main job. And then also with teaching at a community college, if that's something that may not be your cup of tea, you could go the next route, which is teaching, but pretty much you're teaching for yourself. So you can go on a Teachable or a Udemy, and pretty much you can sign up to be a instructor, and then you can build your own course and sell it on either Udemy or Teachable. Now with Udemy, I do think they take a percentage of the courses, but they have a large fan base. A lot of people use Udemy. I use them all the time. I have plenty of courses from them. So that's one route you can go if you decide to build this awesome course and put it in your own platform or put it on Teachable, where you can pretty much charge what you want as you get people that's interested in learning that particular specialization, and then you can create another source of income by going that route. So if you're finding value in this episode, please leave me a review or a comment. If you have a friend that needs to hear this, please share this episode with them also. So the next side hustle that I'm going to recommend is recruiting. So recruiting is pretty much you can go the independent route, and pretty much recruiting is we see recruiters all the time online. So pretty much as a recruiter, you're pretty much helping companies look for IT talent. So those companies in need of IT talent, usually they'll have a recruiter, whether it's in-house or a third-party uh, company, would go and try to find someone to fit that role to bring in to that company to work for them. So as a recruiter, like I said, you can do this independent, where most recruiters work on a commission basis. So it's the more people you get hired, the more money you'll make. But as an independent, you're pretty much reaching out to companies that has openings, and then you're trying to sell them on your service that you could help them to find someone to fit their roles. If you're already in IT, I think that's a good selling point because you're already in it. So you should be pretty good with picking out someone that will make a good fit for certain roles. And you should be pretty good at picking out if someone wouldn't be a good fit. So IT recruiting, like I said, it's a another way that you can make some side money or as a side hustle. Then also you can do this part time, so you may be able to find a recruiting company that's looking for some people to help them fill different job roles or find talent for them. And like I said, this is usually paid on a commission scale. So if you don't bring no one in, then you might not be getting paid too much. It's real similar. The pay structure is real similar to a car salesman. So except for the commissions, maybe a little bit better. On average in the U.S., the average recruiter probably brings in about 60K. I know some of them that's been doing it for a long time brings in way more. And if it's someone that who was lucky enough to start as an independent and build up their company, they're probably bringing in way high six figures, if not more than that. So another way to look into getting some more side money or another side hustle could be recruiting. The next side hustle that I'm going to recommend is IT consulting. So pretty much, if you're a specialist in a particular area, you're usually bought on or bought inside of a company to help a company implement or work on a special technical project. So some companies, let's say if they're doing a big change in their data center, so they may go and look for a consultant to help them implement that change. So this consultant may be either a private consultant, meaning he's running his own thing, or he could be a consultant that works for a managed service provider company. So it kind of ties in together. So it could be either or. It could be someone that is on their own or someone that works for a company as an IT consultant. So this is usually done by people who have worked in the field or the industry for a long time and they've gained a lot of experience. And on the networking end, the people I see that usually do this is ones that has the CCIE certification. So that's pretty much the top of the line um, networking certification. And then also on the security side, it would be the same thing. And also, I have seen some people with a CCNP but years of experience be able to do these type of roles also. So with this role, like I said, you can be the owner, so you can be your own boss, or you can be working for a company that's like a managed service provider that's contracting you out to provide these services for other businesses and other companies. On average, I would say the average salary for a IT consultant is usually around 82,000 from what I could find with my research. I do know most people that has a CCIE certification. Most of the time, you tend to see their salaries usually in the 150s. So I would say 82 would probably be the low end, and then it could range on up to six figures or more. So the last side hustle that I'm going to recommend, and pretty much this here technically may not be a side hustle, but it's a way to get extra money, and that's contract work. So I'm sure you all have seen when you're searching on Indeed and you see different roles and it says contract 12 months. So pretty much that's contract work. With contract work, you don't have to be working for another company. So pretty much it's almost just like you're looking for another job, except for you're coming on as a contract for this job. And let's say this contract is scheduled to last for 1 year or 2 years. So you come in, you already know that in 12 months, this job may be over. And a lot of times, the way that you find these roles is either going through a recruiting company and they send you out to the roles, or sometimes you may be able to negotiate a contract yourself with a particular company. Um, Majority of the time, you're probably going to get sent out by a recruiting firm that has a role for a contract job. So you're going to be sent out by that recruiting firm. And these contracts, I like them in a way. If I could do it all over, this might have been the route I would have tried to go. because with the contract role, so you thinking about it. If I take myself, my own experience, I stayed 10 years in for one particular company. So my experience come from that one company, but 10 years at that one company. So I still got to see a lot of different things, a lot of different technologies. But just think if those 10 years would have been spent as a contractor where I went on this contract for this job, let's say for a year. Then I went on another contract for a year. Then I went on another contract. Let's say this contract was 2 years. So by the time 10 years has passed, I probably would have been done did like 5, 6 different roles. And in those 5, 6 different roles, I'm seeing 5, 6 different environments. And each environment is going to be doing different technologies. So I will be someone that has a lot of experience in different areas. So in a way, that would make me more valuable. So doing contract, and I know a lot of friends that have went the contract route. And usually, what most people do when you start out, when you first start out, if you're a little younger, and be you may not be looking for that spot where you're going to retire from. You pretty much that's not on your mind yet. So some people would start out as contracts, get that experience. Then after a couple of contracts, what they would do is start looking for jobs where, okay, I'm looking for this job because they got good benefits and they pay pretty decent, but this is somewhere I can see myself retiring. So that's how a lot of people use the contract work. One thing with contract work, usually your pay is way more than what an employee for that company would be. But then the downside would be that usually you have to be the one that's responsible for paying your own taxes and your own insurance. So you have to kind of weigh out your options. And most of the time, that contract role is still going to be paying more, even after you do pay your own taxes and own insurance and other items. So that contract work, like I said, that's a good way to gain a lot of experience fast. So that wraps it up for this episode. So don't forget to follow me on IG and TikTok at Debt Free and IT. If you have any questions, please email them to me at debtfreeandit@gmail.com. If you have any topic suggestions, you can email those also, or you can just leave it in the comments. And then I usually I try to reply back as soon as possible to any comments that's left. Other than that, I'll see you next week. Peace.